All right, folks, I am joined by my awesome client, Jess, who's been in the program for a year and a half now. She's been in the coaching program. I think it was January, 12 months, maybe even two and a
I
half
think it's
years.
I think it's 2.5, Connor, maybe.
Sorry, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And Jess is now actually part of the coaching team as well. She joined the coaching team also. But I thought it'd be really good for Jess to come on and share her experience in the coaching program as a client. So Jess, do you want to tell people a bit more about your situation, your story, who you are, so people can get an idea?
Yeah, so I started out with doing some online programs, so like the GMB, which is the gold medal bodies, for people who don't know that. And they're fantastic and I really like their programs, but I found myself maybe getting a little bit bored with them and I felt like I needed to, well, I was program hopping from one program to the next, and then I was going from one goal to the next. So I wanted to do running events, and then I went to wanting to learn how to do handstands, and then I was wanting to do increase my muscle mass. So I was just jumping and didn't know where to go. I was running around in circles with my goals. So yeah, then I came across you, and I haven't looked back yet. I've been sticking with the same coach for this amount of time, so it's been really, really good and lots of benefits from it.
Amazing. And do you want to share where you're based, if you've kids, just so people can get an idea as well and resonate with your situation?
Yeah, I'm in Tasmania, Australia, and I have two children. One is an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they're quite busy kids too, so constantly on the move doing things. And my husband is a fly in, fly out worker, so he's not home all that often. So that's another reason the online works very well for me, because I just can't get to a gym with him away all the time. Can't leave the kids by themselves. So yeah, it's worked out well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like, so it's clear like you're busy, you've got a lot going on. And before coming into the program, you were program hopping. So GMB, like we're all big fans of GMB. You're going to
Mm.
be joining the GMB trainers next month, is it?
Yeah, next month. I'm very excited for that. It's been on my list of things to do for a while now, and I'm finally
Yeah.
going to make that move. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So before coming in to the program, Jess, was there anything that you were maybe a bit skeptical about or unsure of?
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical. I know when I first started, I was like, I just wanted a program, someone to do something to follow, and I didn't want to be program hopping anymore. I needed something. And then you told me about all these habits that were in this program. I'm like, I don't know about these habits. I don't think I want to. I just want the program, Connor. But then when I've started and I've seen all these habits and I've been doing these habits, it's like, wow, this is really what I needed. This is exactly how, this is like next level, coaching, online programming. So yeah, I was really skeptical about that. I was like, these habits, I don't know about this. I already know how to plan. I already know how to do that. But really, I didn't. And I can always do it better, if you know what I mean. It can always be done better and improve on it. So it's been a bit of a game changer for me.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. And yeah, it's kind of like a lot of times we've seen everything before, but it's just like, are we applying it? Are we applying it consistently? Are we, really do our results prove that we're applying it as well? Um,
Mm.
what would be some specific like breakthroughs where you're like, okay, this is actually starting to really click and it's maybe different to stuff I've done before?
Yeah, the planning side of thing has really kicked in with me, like just planning my day, not putting a big long list together like I would usually do, have pieces of paper everywhere, a never ending list. Now I'm actually planning at the end of the day, like what has worked well for me, what are some wins that I've had. So I'll reflect on them, which leads to better sleep because I'm able to unwind, decompress with that, get it out of my head. And then the next day I'll look back at my journal. What have I got today? What's my most important task? I don't do any more than one or two, because I've I used to be a never ending list, and it used to drive, like I just look at it and be overwhelmed. Now it's like spread out for the week with one or two most important things for the day, and I'm able to achieve them. So that's been a big game changer for me, is the planning been huge.
Yeah, it's such a kind of, it's a funny one in that, like, it's probably the best feedback we get is around that habit. um I think, around what you're saying as well, it just kind of gives you more control over your life, your situation. Also, there's nothing more stressful than just having this laundry list of things that you feel like you need to get through in a day, and it's just not possible, so you're just kind of feeling overwhelmed. um
Mm.
Also, the impact on sleep, Jess, that's really good to hear. So, like, how has it impacted the sleep?
Yeah, just being able to have that wind down of a night, just yeah, writing down what I need to do for the next day. And even with food too, like I'll be like, okay, what's my food prepped for tomorrow? And just being able to put that through so I know where I'm at with that as well, which has helped with goals as well. But sleeping wise, it's just, yeah, being able to have like a bit of a brain dump mainly, and switching off technology. Like that's another one of the habits too. I usually have a little reminder on my phone at 7:30. It just go downtime, done. You put the phone away, and then I'll be doing my journaling, spending time with the kids, and it's just been really good with the sleep.
Yeah, that's so good. And yeah, we've had like repeated people coming into the program who have sleep issues. They've had sleep issues for many, many years. And once we reduce technology use in the evening and get them to do that brain dump, like you talked about, Jess, like, it just allows people to switch off a lot more. So they're not racing and like in bed at 10,
Mm.
11, 12 o'clock and just wired and not being able to do anything. Um, let's talk about other breakthroughs. So you said planning, then you were touching on like the food prep as well.
Yeah, so other breakthroughs I've had is the food prep. And I really like how in our program you've got little challenges, whether it be the squat challenge, the lean eating is the one which would go with the food. Ever since I've done that lean eating challenge, my food prep ideas and knowledge has just been tenfold. I'm just like, wow, I can do this so much better. Like I'm just adding different herbs and spices rather than sauces, and prepping it way in advance, like, and putting it in the freezer. So then I can, okay, it really is a no-brainer just to grab out something for the next day, whether it be like um, a Mexican meal that I've made up ready for the next day. It's out of the freezer for the lunch the next day or dinner the next day.
Amazing. Has that had any impact on body composition or anything like that with the food prep?
Yeah, yeah, very massive with the body composition. Like I'm noticing more muscle tone and also getting stronger with my chin ups and the muscle up, like just progressing towards that. I feel like all of a sudden something's like clicked. It's like things are getting stronger now. Is that because of that food or is my energy? What's going on? But something's like a bit, there's a bit of a shift there, and it's probably just having that consistency too within the program. Things have come along quite nicely.
Yeah. Let's talk about results, Jess. So specifically, like, what sort of things are you doing now that you weren't doing before the program?
Um, so yeah, well, the planning is definitely a big one. I wasn't doing that before, and I'd be constantly trying to fit workouts in somewhere in the day too. So now I am doing them in the mornings before my kids get up, and that just helps me spend more time with my children for the rest of the day. Helps me be a better mum, helps me be present with them, and the it's also helped the budget too, like with the food prep side of things. That's another big one. Being prepared with your food just helps you for the whole week. You've got your you've prepped out, or you've done your shopping list really first, and you've done your shop, then you've got your food prep, then you've planned all your food for the week, and then you don't have the need to go, oh, what am I having for dinner tonight? And oh, I can't be bothered cooking. I'm just going to go up to the local shop and get something, or we'll get a takeaway. There's none of that anymore. It's all like it's already there. It's on the fridge. What we're having for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. we kind of know. And the kids like that too. They're like, oh, we know what's having for dinner tonight. It's Taco Tuesday. They love that. And, and you can mix it up, make it for them. They have their tacos or their nachos. And for me, I'll probably have the same kind of mince, but with like cauliflower rice or a salad. So it's still not too much different to what they're eating.
Yeah, that's so huge. I think a lot of people think they're on a diet and they need to create multiple meals for their family or whatnot, or it's going to be really expensive. But yeah, it's really cool what you just said there, like, because you know, you get the planning down, and then now all of a sudden you've got more bandwidth, you're more present, you're getting your workouts done first thing in the morning. So then you've looked after yourself, and now you can be a better mom to look after your kids and be more present with them. Um, and then you're getting all the food prepped, so you're making better decisions consistently. You're saving money as well because you're not getting takeaways. Um, and yeah, I guess it's just more structured. So it's basically that quote, like discipline equals freedom. You've got the discipline, everything's in place, and then you have that this freedom now with the home life is very much dialed in, it seems, from talking to you.
Yeah, that goes through my head that quote a lot too. And same with the never miss twice. That's been a big one for me too. That one that we've
Can I
learnt through the
explain it?
habits. Yeah, that's from James Clear. That's the never miss twice. So say like for instance, it was a big one of mine for a while in the program too, not snacking after school. And I went for that for like a month or two. And I had to try and be a bit more kinder to myself and just be like, well, sometimes, you do stuff up, but just remember that the next day you can just get back on to this not snacking after school. Just back onto it again. Don't ever be hard, don't beat yourself up. Just never miss twice. So you've done one day, but the next day we're not going to do that again, and just keep repeating. And so that's been very helpful for me for a lot of things in the program.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to maybe touch on, like from your point of view, like with people or friends and family, or what are just, I guess, for someone listening who's maybe in a similar position, has kids, is very busy, is has a lot of balls in the air with work, family, their own stuff as well, and they just can't seem to be consistent. Like, what would you say would be 2 to 3 pieces of advice you could give that person listening?
Yeah, just be kind to yourself for one is definitely like you would talk to your friend who's asking the same thing. Just have kind words to yourself as well. It's really hard. We always beat ourselves up. Oh, I can't do this. It's too hard, and then we're going to give up. But yeah, would just be kind and know that you're not the only one going through this as well. There's so many other people that are probably going through a similar situation, and just to try again the next day, just to get back onto it and make adjustments to suit you and your life. And yeah, like I love that James Clear one, never miss twice. So that's always a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, also just the self-compassion. It's really hard, like the being kind to yourself, or talking to yourself like you would to a friend is super tough, but really important. And just, you made a really good point there as well about like common humanity. Like, people like me and you mess up every single week, and so if someone's out there and they mess up, it's really normal. It's actually part of succeeding. I think this is maybe something we can just go into in a little bit more detail. So like, how, yeah, what you've kind of touched on already, but I think a big challenge for people is if they can't do it perfectly, then they're like, well, there's no point doing anything. So what would be like 1 or 2 things that might be helpful for someone in that position?
Yeah, yeah, don't give up would be one. Like, and yeah, just realize that it does take time.
Yep.
And sometimes even just seeking help from someone else like yourself, Connor, has helped. Like I know for myself in the past, many times I've gone to try and I'm giving up sugar. And then I go the next day, I'm like, oh, bugger it, I'm going to have it. And I've wrecked the whole month. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do this challenge. I can't do it anymore. I'm giving up. But yeah, I think even just seeking out help from someone else does really help, and having that chat and just being kind to yourself and saying, well, I'll pick it up the next day or the next meal. It's okay to be, it's okay. Forgive yourself. And yeah, hope that helps for anyone. But I think always just checking in with somebody else, having that chat really does help, seeking out help from somebody else.
Yeah. There's also I was talking to Josh Hillis last week. He's really well-known nutrition coach. He talks a lot about like emotional eating and food skills. That's the way he kind of promotes his program. It's not like you need to follow your macros. It's like we're going to work on skills like you're playing chords in a guitar or learning a language, like you're practicing, you're getting better. And he made a really like funny example. He was like, if you were like learning the guitar, you made one mistake, you wouldn't like just quit and be like, oh my God, I'm never going to do this again. Like I'm never going to learn. You'd understand like, oh, of course I'm a beginner. Like I don't really know what I'm doing and it's going to sound bad. And he was like, that's exactly what people do in diet culture. They want to play the guitar like, I don't know, Guns N' Roses. So that's like extreme, like a fitness model's diet. Obviously they fail because it's so strict and such a high level diet to follow, and then they think that they're the problem, whereas really it's just the approach is way too advanced for where they're at.
Yeah, make it work for you with that, isn't it? I remember that the car, you're talking about what kind of car do you drive, and it comes like down to what kind of diet is going to work for you too and your family. Like
You want to
the
explain that for
same.
people? That's a great analogy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. But I'm trying to remember it, Connor. Like if I had, you know, maybe in Europe, say, if I was living over there and I had a big four-wheel drive, it's not going to really suit the environment over there. And in the city, it's just too big of a car. It's just ridiculous. Whereas maybe like a four-wheel drive in Australia, that type of car would work because you are going off-road a lot. You are going on like sand dunes or camping a lot. So that kind of car would suit. So it's like, for me as well, a diet like say a strict keto diet is not going to suit my family and our needs because I have my children at home and then I'll be trying to prep like 3 or 4 different meals, which sometimes it feels like anyway when my son's so fussy. But yeah, it's making it work for you and your environment, like your situation.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jess. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't look at someone driving a scooter in Rome and be like, why don't you have a SUV? Like everyone should be driving an SUV, regardless of where
Yeah.
you live. Like it's like, well, no, that's ridiculous. And the same with diet. Like not everyone should be on a vegan diet, not everyone should be on a keto diet, not everyone should be on a
Mm.
Mediterranean diet. You just follow what's in line with your values and your goals, and that's going to be sustainable for you. Um, so Jess, any other, I guess, from a results standpoint, what sort of impact has the program had on you? Like maybe in life in general?
Yeah, well, it's in life in general, in family life, I'm definitely more organized. I feel like my husband's noticed that shift too. I'm not as stressed. I'm not as um because if I don't get my workouts in, I get a bit cranky. But
Mhm.
because I'm able to do them in the mornings now, it's just a lot more calmer that way. And yeah, just it's been a lot better. And my knowledge has increased too with health and fitness. I've gained a lot more off you and the other coaches in the program too, and even the community. We always bounce off each other in the program community that we've got. It's been really good. So yeah, there were some big ones too, just like my education from the program and my planning and organizing my weeks and days is pretty huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who would you say would be suited to the program? Like if they're listening and they're not sure, who do you think would be maybe suitable to look into joining?
Yeah, I would say for someone who wants to get the next level of training, so not just going out and getting another program off, like similar to me. I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to get another training program and it'll help fix everything. It'll be all good. But with all the other elements that you add into the program, Connor, it just makes it all fit quite well into your lifestyle and it's long lasting. So yes, people who are after the next level type of program, not just your ordinary, just wanted to get a program, people who want to invest in their health and fitness, and people like myself who are busy mums or busy parents, and maybe they can't get to the gym, or they don't even like the gym and they just want to work out at home and they just don't know where to start. I recommend it for people who are constantly on Googling or Instagram trying to find what's going to be good for me. Let's just take the hard work out of it and see someone like yourself, Connor, who's done all the research, and you've given people so many fantastic results, like whether it's from their injuries and their recovery from that. We've had a lot of people in the group have some older people as well who've come out really well from whether it's hip injuries, knees, shoulders, and even some younger ones too who just push themselves too hard in the gym and end up with injuries, because that's that mentality, is to go hard or go home when you're in a gym situation. So I recommend it for a lot of different people, but yeah, definitely for someone who wants to get that next level of training.
Yeah, amazing. It's funny as well, like we haven't really talked about your physical ability. So like for people listening, Jess is like, you know, smashing chin-ups, doing crazy stuff on the rings, you know, handstands, all these things. So it's cool that like the planning is still the highest level thing that you've that from a benefit standpoint is fantastic, you know. So yeah, you can you'll probably be able to see Jess if you go onto her. I'll tag her Instagram in the info on the video, and you can look at her physical abilities. So Jess, really appreciate you sharing your experience. I think a lot of people would really benefit. Anything else you want to finish with?
No, that's it. But other than that, I've really surprised myself how much, the planning has been just so huge on my life, really. Like I thought I was coming into the program, I'm going to do a muscle up handstand, pistol squat, all these things. But really, at the end of the day, I am so happy with the planning. It's just been the best thing for my life and my children.
So good.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jess. Great to have you on. All right.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Connor.